Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, like the title says, this is a public service announcement. It seems that time has come. I'm the Sofa Soldier, and to be honest, I really didn't want to make this commentary. It's kind of bugging me, the fact that content creators still have to kind of fight our corner for stuff like this, even if you're as small as I am, and we are at 4Gamers. But here goes anyway. Let's Plays, let's face it, they're nothing new. They're in no way threatening. So why are they treated this way? In our case, with 4Gamers versus the World, we certainly didn't want them to be viewed that way. We play games because we love them, not for ad revenue, or sponsorship, or partnership, or even really for views and likes, although that's just a bonus. We play them because we want to do just that, play. The essence and heart of play is fun. Now it seems fun plays second fiddle to simply having to survive as a channel at times. To come around to the topic of this video, myself and Unlucky Retro, whose link and all other channels and sources mentioned in the video will be included in the description below, so be sure to check it out. We've been creating a Let's Play series spanning the Metal Gear Solid saga in anticipation for September's release of MGS5 The Phantom Pain, obviously. It's really fun and thrilling to go back through these games and to share them with you guys, specifically, mainly for me, because MGS1 is my favourite game of all time, and I love all of the sequels. We'll continue to do so because we love these games. But yet again, it seems Konami has dropped the ball here, unfortunately. I'd like to stress and reiterate that they're not alone in criticism here. I'm by no means singling any publisher out. It seems to be a running trend with game developers and publishers recently, so I'm not jumping down anybody's throat in particular. I'm just going with what's relevant to our videos and what 4Gamers are doing at the minute, really. This video will mention other publishers and, quite frankly, the distasteful trends in the gaming world, how it's affecting YouTube creators and viewers, and the gamer perception of this in general. Unlucky Retro's videos have been targeted by Konami not as a copyright strike, per se, where they take the video down, but rather as a cheap source of income. 2 pieces of in-game cutscene were flagged, and his channel was informed that Konami would place ads mid-video to compensate, in inverted commas, rather than taking the video down. Now, this might look at first glance to be a good deal, with Konami attempting to appear understanding of YouTubers, or merciful. When you look past this, however, you see how ridiculous it is, and that this is little more than draconian bullying. After we made a few jokes during the video regarding the whole Kojima Gate situation and Konami's future business plans, which, ironically, in the video, I stood up and said afterwards that they released a press release saying that we still fully intend to support our plans to make great games. For the record, this amounted to all of 1 or 2 sentences. We were heaping praise on Metal Gear Solid and how much we love it, pointing out all the Easter eggs and the great character design and all of the special moments that you have in Let's Plays, and giving it our own unique twist. We were by no means criticising throughout the entire thing. This is not the first time this has happened on YouTube. I'm just going to reiterate this and go over just to give some evidence, really. As little as 2 months ago, around the time that the whole Kojima Gate situation blew up very publicly online, YouTuber Super Bunny Hop had a video flagged and taken down the same day. Ironically, its content was fully openly critical of Konami's treatment of Kojima and the apparent dismantling of his studio and legacy, followed by his swift exit from the company. This video is back up now, after a few polite emails were exchanged. Myself, Unlucky Retro, Teddy Huckle and Jan Boster, who make up the 4Gamers versus the World channel, you know, we command a tiny subscription base and viewership in comparison to these much bigger YouTubers. But we should also be beholden to the same rules. We are, and we do. No content creator, big or small, should have to live in fear of copyright abuse as an excuse to silence criticism. This is, quite frankly, censorship, and it's ultimately illegal. We are essentially an open window of great free PR to these publishers, introducing games new and old to diverse audiences all over the world with zero marketing or advertising costs to any of these publishers. We love your games. Please let us play them and celebrate you and what you've created. Now, having mentioned Teddy Hoggle and Jambuster, I'd actually like to go on to what happened also during their review recording of J-Star's Victory vs. Plus, which you can find on the 4Gamers vs. the World channel. Another ugly copyright issue raised its head, that of developers disabling the soundtrack and sound effects through the capture and share functionality built into the PS4. Now, I'm not sure if this is the same case if you bought the game on Xbox One. It probably is, because it sounds like it's done at a corporate level. So I looked this up online, and actually, Shuhei Yoshida, you know, the top dog at PlayStation, mentioned on Japanese site. Ironically, it's a Japanese site called 4Gamer, which did make me laugh. He mentioned in this article that devs would have freedom to disable share functionality, including capture and sound and stuff like that, at key points in the game if they so wish to, for example, to prevent spoilers and things like that from happening, and the community ruining games for other people who hadn't got that far. But now it seems that the tools that they were given to do this and aspects of the feature itself are being abused by certain developers or publishers, basically in order to preserve copyright on music and sound effects that are present in their game. Now, you would think that this is somewhat understandable, really, especially if you're, you know, if your game actually has a lot of licensed music from big artists, you know, for example, something like GTA 5, which ironically doesn't do this. To my knowledge, you can capture anything you want with the radio on in GTA 5, and it's not like EMI or any of the big music labels are knocking on Rockstar's door demanding money and asking them to crack down on the community. But, you know, in the case of something like J-Stars, where essentially the sound effects, I'm sorry, I'm going to be critical here, they don't amount to much. The majority of it is, you know, ridiculous, incomprehensible J-rock hype music with really silly thwack sound effect that you'd find in, you know, a crazy anime fighting game, and it's composed specifically for that game. Its music is an intrinsic part of the atmosphere and the pacing of, and any game, come to think of it, you know, and the sound effects too. Disabling them, you know, it only decreases the impact of a clip or a capture and the ability to share that with friends or to record it through the PS4, to do reviews or videos or whatever the hell you want to do with it, put it on YouTube and share it. It leaves a game such as J-Stars feeling even more cheap and impotent than it really is when you take away this feature through built-in software. It's kind of silly, to be honest. Like I said before, our channels are not out for money, nor do we even make any yet. We're about entertainment, pure and simple. Our viewer base is not going to cause developers' PR departments to panic in response to criticism, nor should it. We want to help make games and their communities better through our videos and podcasts. These petty hang-ups should be resolved not by a hate train of comments online, but by proper community research and PR work by publishers and developers to ensure a legitimate and hassle-free relationship with content creators on YouTube and elsewhere. Some have done just that, or attempted to make a first step anyway. In Nintendo's case, the Content Creators Program ensures that the security and support that content creators need. However, it does so at the creator's expense, with Nintendo gobbling up enough of a revenue percentage on top of YouTube's own for hosting the video, as to make the reality of playing Nintendo games on YouTube for smaller channels like myself rather bleak and pointless, to be honest, which is a shame, because we all love bloody Yoshi and Link and Mario. Of course, let's not forget Mario. Whilst the hand is extended in this case, publishers still ask too much in return, and YouTubers like Angry Joe and Boogie2988 have been openly critical of their implementation of this business model. It needs to change, quite frankly. In short, these incidents have to stop for the industry to thrive. YouTubers and gamers sharing content should be seen as partners and fans, not threats to a multi-billion-dollar business. It's unrealistic and counterproductive thinking, incompatible with the internet age, and an outdated school of thought, quite frankly. Help us make your games flourish. And to everyone watching, you can help too, by hitting up Unlucky Retro's MGS series and our J-Stars review, along with all of our other videos, which I'll be, linking in the description, like I said earlier. Links to all of the channels and videos and articles mentioned. And you can show us support in the comments, or by liking or subscribing, or whatever you want. We're grateful for every single one of you that watches and takes the time to take in our videos. Meanwhile, I'll have a polite email conversation with Konami, and I'll see you all again soon.